Kako to hugo ovako, ano? Raz, dva.
Islam Makhachev will face Jack Della at UFC 322, and fans are already buzzing with excitement. Many predict a tight matchup, but Makhachev is grinding through intense training camp, determined to deliver a dominant performance. JoeRogan shared his amazement at Islam Makhachev's size and conditioning, describing him as an incredibly imposing athlete. He noted how surprising it is that Islam can still cut down to 155 pounds with such a thick frame and broad back. Rogan highlighted that his raw strength and natural leverage give him a huge advantage in grappling exchanges, making it easier for him to dominate and control opponents with ease.
Big dude.
Yeah.
When I interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as he's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze.
Yoel Romero weighed in on the welterweight division, describing Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat to Islam Makhachev. He explained that Jack's combination of sharp striking, relentless cardio, and underrated wrestling makes him a dangerous opponent at 170. Romero also emphasized Jack's size and physical strength, saying those attributes allow him to compete with anyone. And a potential clash with Islam would be an unpredictable 50-50 battle.
What about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, who is a new champion in welterweight division?
It's hard because Maddalena have a very good cardio, very good puncher. Yeah. It's not bad wrestling too. It's not bad wrestling. It's a 50-50.
50-50, but Jack has not that high takedown defense. You know,
But punch it. He have a very hard punches.
and he will be more powerful than Islam, right? Or
That's exactly.
because of the weight difference, right?
Yes.
Or Islam is too big for...
No. That guy, Maddalena is big for 170. He's big.
Max Holloway also shared his perspective on a potential welterweight clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledged that Islam has all the tools to succeed, but cautioned against underestimating Jack, calling him one of the best fighters in the world. Holloway pointed out that fans often overlook Jack, much like they did earlier in his career, and stressed that while Islam deserves his pound-for-pound recognition, this matchup would still be a tough and thrilling battle.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason, so you gotta respect that, but don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough and fun.
On the other hand, there's concerning news for Islam Makhachev supporters, as Khabib Nurmagomedov recently stated that he believes Islam only has 1 to 2 years left in his career. Speaking at a press conference, Khabib stressed the importance of retiring by the age of 35 before a fighter's prime begins to decline. He explained that staying too long in the sport often leads to chasing paydays, taking unnecessary damage, and suffering knockouts. Using Islam as an example, Khabib said it's far more honorable to step away with dignity and begin a new chapter, even joking that being an Uber driver would be better than fighting past his time.
Maybe my honest opinion, 1.5 to 2 years, because age is gonna be October 34. Nobody gonna be same. When time comes, they don't ask what's your name. Of course, I finished when I was 32. I don't even begin. It was, I have this situation in my life, that's why. But when you become 35, you need to start doing this, because leave this sport for young guys. Because Because when you become 35 and you don't finish, somebody gonna finish you. Why? It's better to finish. Why? After 35, you're never gonna be same. Like people can talk whatever they want. When you pass your prime, you're gonna fight only for money. Like Allah give you 7 years, for example. You finish 40. And last 5 years, you was fight only for money, but they knock you out 10 times. For what? Go and work Uber driver. It's much better to be stupid.
Meanwhile, Islam is fully focused on chasing his long-time dream of becoming a two-division champion. From the very start of his career, this has been his ultimate goal, and many fans believe he won't step away from the sport until he achieves it.
Just clarify, like, did they make you give up the lightweight title?
The Gainer Shahuna and everybody?
Yeah, like the
of
UFC.
course, this is the dream, man. This is the dream for the all champions. Like we know many champions, but not is the from them like double. That's why everybody want to be double champ. Everybody want to be UFC champ, but we don't have many people who have two belts. That's why I want to be one of them.
Moreover, Islam's coach Javier Mendez spoke about his mindset ahead of a possible fight with Jack Della Maddalena. He explained that Islam isn't concerned with comparing Jack to past opponents like Dustin Poirier, but is driven by the challenge itself. Mendez added that Islam thrives on testing his limits and has full confidence in the well-rounded skills set he has built through years of disciplined training.
It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So
Javier Mendez explained that Jack Della Maddalena could present Islam with a very different challenge than his previous opponents. Rather than focusing on Jack's record, he pointed out Jack's unpredictability, especially with his timing and body shots, as he builds pressure without relying only on knockouts. Mendez emphasized that Islam's team wouldn't approach this as just another takedown fight, but instead would need to stay sharp, analyze Jack's movement, and actively create openings instead of waiting for them.
I think what makes JDM so dangerous, number one, he's unbeaten for quite a while. Yep. He's had quite a long win streak, and the fact that this guy mixes it up extremely well. He goes to the body, to the head. He doesn't just stick head hunting. He mixes it all up. He goes body, punch, boom, and then also the kick comes. And with him, his takedown defense is really, really good also. So we are not in a situation where we can think, we're going to go to the ground, and we're going to... No, we got to see what he's going to give us, and we have to... we're going to have to make him give us something, because I don't know if he's going to.
Javier Mendez described the matchup as a clash between two top-tier fighters, but expressed confidence that Islam Makhachev's championship mentality would give him the advantage. He explained that Jack Della Maddalena had never gone up against someone with Islam's unique combination of fight IQ, timing, and composure under pressure. Mendez also dismissed concerns about Islam moving up to welterweight, noting that he has spent years training with larger opponents and can handle the physical demands. He predicted a fast-paced, highly technical fight that would showcase the best of both athletes.
Islam is a whole different animal than Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either, so he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Javier Mendez also shared an update on Islam Makhachev's future following a possible fight with Jack Della Maddalena. He revealed that they haven't seriously discussed a permanent move to welterweight yet, but admitted the opportunities at 170 pounds are greater than at lightweight. Mendez stressed that the final decision will always be Islam's to make, while he simply plays the role of a mechanic, supporting and preparing him for whatever path he chooses.
So you think 170 is permanent now for moving forward?
I can't say that because I haven't spoke to Islam about that, whether he's going to want to stay at 170. I really don't know. There's a lot of opportunities at 170, you know, and let's face it, at lightweight, there's only a couple.
Yeah.
But at welterweight, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
So Islam is the driver. I'm just the mechanic, and maybe I'm the guy that fixes the tires of this one, but Islam's the driver. Islam decides where he wants to go, not the manager, not Khabib. Islam is.
On the other hand, Chael Sonnen shared his excitement for Islam Makhachev's expected fight in New York against Jack Della Maddalena. He pointed out that many fans might be underestimating just how competitive this matchup could be. Sonnen noted that while Islam often commands the spotlight and respect as one of the most prominent Muslim athletes in the sport, it is actually Jack who continues to face doubt. He added that it's unusual to see the champion being questioned more than the challenger.
Islam is headed to Madison Square Garden to fight Jack Della Maddalena, according to Khabib.
We have deal with them. He's gonna fight in Madison Square Garden, and they say yes.
It's a lot closer match than you think it is. We understand Islam. He's the most famous Muslim athlete in the world. He's going for basically a history maker. We don't question him. Jack is the one being questioned. How in the hell are you gonna question the guy with the...
The MMA analyst also shared his take on a potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. He predicted the opening rounds would be more like a chess match, with Jack defending takedowns while landing clean strikes. However, he believes Islam's ability to adapt would take over, allowing him to close the distance, control the clinch, and ultimately secure a second-round TKO victory.
Yeah, Islam.
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee in the
Oh yeah, you going by rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilya will stuff it. Ilya will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Ilya will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tie clinch, bang, body, knee to the head. Ilya's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body.
Craig Jones weighed in on Islam Makhachev's possible matchup with Jack Della Maddalena, calling it one of the toughest challenges Islam could face. He highlighted Jack's elite scrambling ability, which he believes is the best in MMA, and pointed out that the size difference could play a big role. Jones referenced Islam's struggles on the ground against Volkanovski, suggesting that if Jack wins, it would raise real doubts about Islam's dominance. He explained that while Islam handled Volk, Jack brings a different kind of physicality and unpredictability that could expose weaknesses. Meanwhile, Sean O'Malley also shared his thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight, describing it as an exciting move. He dismissed concerns about the size gap, saying Islam's well-rounded skills set could balance things out, and even suggested that Islam's striking might become the key weapon if Jack's sole focus is defending takedowns.
I think Islam does at welterweight. Who knows? I heard he's not going to be any smaller than Jack come fight night. 55 to 70, that's a little bit different than 35 to 45, 45 to 55. But when your skill level's that high, as Islam's is, it'll be interesting if he goes in there and tries to shoot on Jack. Jack stuffs him and gets in his face. But Islam's striking is so underrated. Islam can put the hands on
UFC bantamweight Malcolm Wellmaker acknowledged Jack Della Maddalena's sharp skill set, but still placed his trust in Islam Makhachev as the superior fighter. He admitted that moving up in weight could pose challenges, yet expressed confidence that Islam would adjust, solve the puzzle, and continue proving why he's regarded as a true champion.
I look real good, but I think Islam is the best, man. I think Islam is the absolute best. I do think, obviously, you know, moving up a big difference in weight class will have some effect, but I think that he'll be the champion that we know him to be, and he'll find a way to.
Meanwhile, Luke Rockhold described the potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena as both tough and exciting. He named Islam, Tapuria, and JDM as his current favorites in the UFC. While giving Jack credit for his wrestling ability, Rockhold believes Islam's elite grappling background would give him the advantage. He acknowledged that Jack's size could pose problems depending on how well Islam adjusts to welterweight. Having trained with Islam personally, Rockhold noted the visible size difference and said he's eager to see how it impacts the fight.
Do you see him beating JDM to win that welterweight title?
That's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my three favorite fighters in the UFC right now. We go Islam, Tapuria, and JDM. JDM's he's fun to watch. So, I mean, that's going to be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM, who's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but, you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown. You know, we'll see how he carries the...
Furthermore, Islam Dulatov cautions fans not to overlook the matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledges that Makhachev has the skills to win, but stresses that Jack's striking and size at 170 make it a serious challenge. Dulatov believes Islam will need a precise game plan and elite grappling to secure the victory.
I think a lot of people think that it's going to be an easy fight for Islam, but I don't think that it's going to be that easy. I think Islam going to win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for him, like everybody thinks, because Islam is maybe big for lightweight, but he's not big for welterweight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's why I would say, like, I don't know, he don't look for me so big.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just on pictures or whatever, but actually, you know, I think JDM has a lot more of weight than him. But at the end of the day, I think JDM has better striking, and Islam has for sure the better ground game.
Meanwhile, Dan Hardy praises Jack Della Maddalena's talent and recognizes his potential, but questions whether he can truly conquer the stacked welterweight division. He also raises concerns about how Islam Makhachev will adjust to 170, noting the size and cardio demands that come with bigger opponents. While Hardy respects Islam's dominance at lightweight, he isn't entirely convinced the transition will be seamless.
I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or, you know, he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, you know, on any day, you know, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev. But Della Maddalena looked very, very sharp against Bilal. And I wonder what Makhachev would look like as a welterweight, you know, whether he would look as strong and as lean or whether he would look heavier and, you know, potentially gas himself out because he'd be stepping straight into a 5-round fight.
On the other hand, Stephen Thompson shares his thoughts on Islam Makhachev's potential welterweight debut, highlighting size and strength as the toughest obstacles. He explains that many welterweights cut down from over 205 pounds, which makes the division especially challenging. While Jack Della Maddalena may have a height advantage, Thompson believes overall power is the real factor. He respects Islam's grappling skills, but reminds fans that Jack has already faced strong wrestlers like Belal Muhammad.
No, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, you know, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I mean, I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller. But when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division, Bilal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens.
Robert Whitaker also weighs in on Islam Makhachev's potential move to welterweight, suggesting it could actually benefit him. He notes that cutting down to 155 has always been tough for Islam and believes his natural strength could carry over well at 170. Comparing the situation to Ilia Topuria's move up in weight, Whitaker calls it the million-dollar question as fans eagerly wait to see how Islam performs in the higher division. Drop your predictions in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more MMA content.